Now, check this out, folks. We all know that Monday Night Raw is complete garbage every week, but, you gotta admit, after watching tonight's NXT, man, you got to look at some of your favorite superstars on the show. You got to see the best talents on the show. I mean, the NXT Women's Division is on fire right now, and then the NXT Men's Tag Team Division is doing a lot better than the Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Division. We all know that. And also, this rivalry that we're seeing on NXT. That's Finn Balor and Pete Dunne. Yep, that's Finn Balor and Pete Dunne. I mean, it's a really, NXT Tonight was a really good show, man. NXT Tonight was phenomenal. I wish Monday Night Raw and SmackDown would do the same. But we all know that's not going to happen. We all know we're never going to get better Monday Night Raw and SmackDown shows because of Vince and Bruce, of course. But never mind that. Anyways, we got Zoey Starks debuting on NXT. We got Isaiah Swerve Scott turning heel. We got, plus, Isaiah Swerve Scott turns heel on Leon Ruff. And Xia Li seemingly marks something on Kacy Catanzaro's arm. I don't know what it is, but it just stripped of his Cruiserweight Championship. So we got all that and much more to go over right here on my Ingram Wrestling News YouTube channel. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Brendan. This is Ingram Wrestling News' very own Brendan Ingram here live with your NXT review. Now, for some of you, it's probably been a long day. For some of you, it probably hasn't. Pretty sure it's been a long day for most of you. But it's definitely been a long week for me, considering that I had to work both days last week. But anyways, this is your February the 7th, 2021 NXT review. As always, before I get started, if you're new to the channel, man, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications. And I will be doing another NXT review this week. Yes, I am going to be doing another NXT review. It's this time, tomorrow's, I'm going to be dropping my NXT recap and review video. So, I'm actually going to, in the video, it's going to be a quick video. It's not going to be long. In the video, I'm actually going to go over the opening segment for NXT, and I'm going to give you all my thoughts on the matches that were booked on there, and that's it. So it's just going to be a quick video of me giving you my opening segment and my thoughts on the show and on the matches on the show. Basically going over the whole thing in quick fashion. So, and then after that, your NXT UK review will be live on WWE 2K20. As usual. Gonna go over what went down on there when I go live with that tomorrow. And also, I'll be streaming Dragon Ball Fighter Z tomorrow on the YouTube channel. So definitely make sure you're subscribed to my channel, and definitely make sure you have on those notifications, especially if you're following me on Twitter. Speaking of Twitter, follow me on Twitter, Ingram Wrestling. Follow me for the latest WWE and AEW news, and follow me on Twitch at England Wrestling News. All you got to do is type in when you go to Twitch, all you got to do is go to Twitch search and type in England Wrestling News, and it should pop up. Now, we're going to go ahead and get started with the review. So, NXT basically kicks off with a look back at the highlights of TakeOver Vengeance Day, where MSK and Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez won the men's and women's Dusty Tag Team Classics, and Johnny Gargano, Io Shirai, and Finn Balor all retained their championships. And we go live to the CWC, where Wayne Barrett, Vince Joseph, and Beth Phoenix are standing at ringside as they're talking. Kyle O'Reilly stomps down to the ring and asks for a microphone. O'Reilly says, "We all saw what happened on Sunday, and he's spent all week trying to make sense of it. But he can't. He's shocked, confused, pissed off, and disappointed. He says they were supposed to be unlike every other group, but Cole has ruined it. He says it was a kick in the face, but really it was a knife in the back. Cole is still his brother, so he gives him the benefit of the doubt, and he needs an explanation right now." So Roderick Strong comes out and he says the Undisputed Era is special. He says they both know Adam Cole, and he did what he did based off emotion. Strong says he knows Cole regrets what he did, but O'Reilly cuts him off and says he doesn't need Roddy to come out here on a peacekeeping mission. O'Reilly tells Strong not to get in the ring because he doesn't know who he can trust anymore. He yells for Cole to come out and explain himself. So once again, O'Reilly doesn't get who he wants, because this time the Prince Finn Balor comes out instead. So once Finn Balor came out instead, O'Reilly says he's not looking for Finn, but the champion says Kyle needs to get in the line behind him to get to Cole. Balor says he and O'Reilly have some business they need to address. On Sunday, Kyle offered him his hand, and he knew he shouldn't have accepted it. Strong gets in Balor's face and tells him to leave O'Reilly alone. And they start arguing, but Pete Dunne, Oney, Lorcan, and Danny Burch appear from behind the barricade and attack all three of them. Balor, O'Reilly, and Strong get beaten down until Ruff stops it. When Ring goes backstage, and he explains that Santos Escobar sent him a message earlier today in which he said nobody can threat him. Escobar said the match will only happen on his time, so he's going home. Ringo says the match will 100% happen next week, and if Escobar doesn't show up, he will be suspended and stripped of the Cruiserweight Championship. Ringo then explains that the main event will be O'Reilly, Strong, and Balor facing Dunne, Lorcan, and Burch. Now, this was a great opening to NXT. This was a chaotic opening to the night that suited the chaos at the end of NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day. However, now To be honest, folks, it didn't really lead to anything beyond setting up a match for later, but it felt too much like a Monday Night Raw segment over in the NXT segment. O'Reilly did a solid job selling his anger, even though he is not a great mic worker on his own. Now, the ultimate goal should be O'Reilly versus Cole, so this was a solid start. Balor's involvement will add little early on, and the Prince should already have moved past the Bruiserweight. So we got Shotzi BlackHeart and Ember Moon versus Indi Hartwell and Candice LeRae. Now, before that, the Way comes to the ring holding missing posters for Austin Theory. Gargano gives posters to the announcers and he takes a seat beside them. So we got the Way versus Shotzi BlackHeart and Ember Moon. The match begins with Shotzi and Candice, but Blackheart immediately beats Candice into the corner and attacks Moon. They work together to send her to the apron. Shotzi needs her off and into the barricade as they hit a commercial break. Back from commercial break, back live, and Blackheart knocks both Candice and Indi onto the middle rope and tags Ember so they can hit kicks at the same time. Moon tags Shotzi and holds Indi so Blackheart can kick her in the head. Moon tags in again, Irish whips Indi into Blackheart, who chokes her over the ropes. Candice runs over and attacks Shotzi. Then Indi drops Moon and makes a tag. A white van pulls up outside the arena, and they know it belongs to Dexter Lumis. Candice gets distracted, and Moon lifts her up, but gets rolled up for two. LeRae hits a clothesline for two, and tags Indi Hartwell. Connects with a back elbow before pulling Moon in the corner, and drilling her with shoulders. Moon tries to make a tag, but Hartwell hits a sidewalk slam for a near fall. So obviously, basically, Candice LeRae and Indi Hartwell were taking control of this match. But before that, Candice LeRae was distracted. Now, we all know Dexter Lumis was in that van. And speaking of Dexter Lumis, I got a little bit of news. On Dexter Lumis, folks. So there was news on some strange activity on Austin Theory's Twitter account. Some very, very unusual, strange activity. Stalked by Dexter Lumis. Obviously, this is a sign that Dexter Lumis and Austin Theory are obviously continuing their feud. This has got to be a feud. If it's not a feud, then what is WWE? I mean, really, it's got to be. This cannot be no fucking one-time feud. This has got to be one of those feuds where, hey, we're gonna get this and that. You know what I mean? But seriously, Dexter Lumis has hacked Austin Theory and continues to hack Austin Theory. So I got some news on Austin Theory and Dexter Lumis. So Austin Theory wanted to get a ringside view of Johnny Gargano's NXT North American title match, NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day. So that did not happen according to plan at all. So basically, Dexter Lumis snuck up and placed a rag over Theory's face before dragging him away. We all know that. So, Ringside News, my source's good old friends on Twitter, previously reported that Austin Theory's Twitter account seems to have been hacked. His profile photo is now an image of Dexter Lumis' face. The creepy post is continued. Oh my God! Has any of you in the chat seen that on Twitter? Anybody? I've seen it. Oh man, that was the weirdest photo I have ever seen of Dexter Lumis, man. It seemed disturbing. But Dexter Lumis, keep in mind, Dexter Lumis is doing the best work of his career. I've said this almost every week on my NXT review. I don't know how many more times I can take saying this. Dexter Lumis continues to prove why not only he's a star, but he continues to prove why his character is halfway better than some of the other NXT talents on the men's roster. He continues to prove why he's dangerous, he's scary, and weird in some way. Now, obviously, this feud's not finished. This feud's still continuing. I just said that right in the open. It's not going anywhere anytime soon, I don't think. I'll be surprised if they get right back to Johnny Gargano feuding with Kushida. But anyways, Lumis also posted a photo of the way complete with his face plastered over Austin Theory's. It truly is a work of art. So, obviously, that was the news on that. Just thought I'd give y'all that news, man. Anyways, back to where I read about the match between Ember Moon, Shotzi BlackHeart, and The Way. Now, so once Indy Hartwell hits a sidewalk slam for a near fall, folks, Candice LeRae tags in and applies a submission to Moon, then transitions to a different one as Gargano encourages her. Now Ember tries to fight up but gets slammed down by the hair, and Candice puts her in the corner to tag Indy. Now Hartwell somehow shoves Moon and batters her with forearms, then throws her to the apron and hits a running knee. Candice tags in and hits a springboard crossbody to Ember on the floor. Johnny then leaves commentary to go check out the van. Now I know why some of you probably wondering why I say somehow, because Ember Moon's bigger than Indy Hartwell, plus Indy Hartwell's a rookie. She's not even a star yet. She's a rookie. She's just now getting her NXT experience on the NXT roster on NXT television. That's why I say that. Normally she'd be brought down or she'd be beat up or something. You know. But anyway, Candice tags in and hits a springboard crossbody to Ember on the floor. Johnny then leaves commentary to go check out the van. Commercial break, Hartwell and Shotzi get tags as we come back from the break. And BlackHeart backs her into the corner for a back elbow, a running bulldog. Shotzi continues the assault as we see Johnny outside, trying to get into the white van. Hartwell attacks Candice and they team to slam and kick Shotzi for a near fall. Ember gets a tag and waits for Shotzi to hit a facebuster to Candice. Then she hits a unique move of her own for a near fall. Shotzi and Ember go up opposite corners, but both of them get kicked off. Candice tags Indy and LeRae goes to the top rope. She goes to the top rope and Gargano comes out with Austin Theory wearing blazer clothes and a bag over his head, which is weird. Which is an indication that Dexter Lumis abducted Austin Theory. Candice runs up the ramp to hug Theory, and Ember Moon takes advantage of the distraction, Indy to roll her up and win. So basically, not only did Indy sacrifice herself for her best friend, but also Candice LeRae left Indy Hartwell in the ring by herself. What is this? Is this leading to the breakup of the Way, too? Makes me wonder, is this leading to Indy Hartwell breaking up with the Way? Could Indy Hartwell turn on Candice LeRae and perhaps turn back babyface? I don't know. Perhaps we could see that. I don't know. There is a very high possibility that Indy Hartwell could turn on Candice LeRae and all the members of the Way. Now, obviously, my thoughts on this match, man. Honestly, this was not as good as the match last week. It was still solid thanks to the time it was given. Now, folks, keep in mind, LeRae remains the ring general in these matchups. But Moon has also truly found her grove in the ring. BlackHeart was less involved than usual, while Hartwell showed her inexperience. The result was obvious, but still worked. That's what I was trying to say. I was trying to say obvious. Hopefully y'all can understand my English language. If it was Spanish, you probably really wouldn't understand. Anyways, Dexter Lumis plays mind games consistently, taking Theory out of the title match on Sunday, and he clearly has more plans for the Way to come. For now, it makes sense for Theory to return to the Way. So that's that, folks. Pat McAfee is shown on a plane from early today. He introduces himself as everyone's favorite wrestler. He says everybody now knows what he was saying all along. That Adam Cole was a scumbag all along. Pat says he knows the internet wrestling community is far too dumb to realize, but that's what he was here for. The hero has always been a boom. Boop, bop, boom, bop, bop, beep. No, I'm just joking. Boom, and he reminds a hero. He's on his way to a beach and encounters, or encourages, should I say, us to tweet, Pat was right. Do I really think I care? Does anybody really care about Pat McAfee? I mean, what has been the rise and the fall of Pat McAfee lately? I mean, he goes from his podcast to being a wrestler. Really, he's not a real wrestler to me. I mean, that should be obvious to anybody in the community. If anybody in the community thinks he's a wrestler, then you know what? They're a complete idiot. They're complete idiots, period. He's not a wrestler. He was used to generate interest in NXT ratings. That's the only reason why he's on the show, to generate interest. They're using him to generate interest in NXT ratings, folks. That's all that was, man. That is all that was. WWE ain't about to fool me for 1 second. Hell no. WWE ain't about to fool anybody here in the chat either. Earlier today, Kushida was interviewed while getting some treatment. He says he isn't done with Johnny or the North American champion. Bronson Reed walks in and encourages pleasantries with Kushida before saying he also has unfinished business with Gargano. And he wants the North American title. So if it comes to it, they'll sort it out between them. Sorta. Malcolm Bivens appears and says if Kushida is cleared for a competition, he knows the perfect opportunity. He knows the perfect opponent, too, for him. Which, obviously, his opponent happened to be Kushida. Just throwing it out there. I mean, who else do you think is going to be his opponent? I mean, who else do they got on the roster? I mean, I'm just saying. So you got Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Leon Ruff. Obviously, you're going to find out why we got this match. Competitive match, but I think this was more like a squash match. You know what? Come to find out, I'm right. Now that I said it, I'm completely right. This was a squash match. Yep. Eagle Wrestling News is right. Admit it, folks. It was a squash match. And here we thought it was going to be a great competitive match. Right, Bruce? Man. Swerve forcing Ruff to the buckles and making fun of him. Ruff swings for him, but Swerve dodges. Ruff is whipped to the buckles and jumps over an incoming Scott, but attempts an arm drag. Isaiah avoids it. Then Ruff goes to the apron and hits a springboard. Then an arm drag into an arm lock. Swerve fights up and whips Ruff to the ropes before connecting with a high knee. Swerve flips Ruff and hits a powerbomb breaker. Swerve sends Ruff out the ring and laughs at him. Scott goes out and hits a running kick on the apron, then brings him back in for a near fall. Swerve chops Ruff and attempts a full Nelson, but Ruff fights back and hits a couple of spinning forearms. I was going to say a bat. Ruff hits a springboard cutter for a 2 count. Ruff goes back up the rope. He goes back up the ropes, but Swerve pulls him down. And they trade shots with Swerve landing some vicious gut punches. Swerve dodges Ruff and hits a dropkick, then takes his head off with a lariat. Swerve lifts Ruff up, but gets caught with a crucifix pin, and Ruff scores the pinfall. Oh my goodness, that really angers Swerve. So you know what he did? After the match, he starts laughing. He gives Ruff a hug, but then drops him with a right hand and starts unloading some ground and pound. Swerve drags Ruff before lifting him and throwing him into the buckles with a firearm. Or should I say, maybe I'll give you one better. Fireman's carry. That's a better one right there. Fireman's carry, man. Now, Ruff and Swerve have chemistry, I'm not going to lie. That should be immensely fun to watch. Now, the first contest could have used more time, but the spirit apparently worked. It worked really well. Now, these are two of the fastest and smoothest cruiserweights in NXT. The two complement each other. They complement each other well. They do. Ruff can make Scott look far more dangerous as a heel than someone like Bronson Reed could. NXT intentionally gave Ruff a jobber entrance to solidify just how much he is the underdog. Meanwhile, Scott is able to do anything in the ring, but will work best with someone he can toss around. Hey, am I not right? I'm telling the truth here. I mean, that's my thought. That's my analyst thought there. So we got Kacy Catanzaro and Kaden Carter versus Aliyah and Jessi Kamea. Oh man, I don't understand why we got this match. I don't even think anybody enjoyed watching this. I know I didn't. I didn't watch it. I didn't want to watch it at all. I never even tried to attempt to watch this match one time because I know this match was also a squash match, so I didn't watch it. I didn't even want to bother watching it. But anyways, I will tell you what happened with the match though. So we start the match with Kacy and Kamea. Jessi uses her size advantage to slam Kacy, but Catanzaro uses her speed to drop her on the middle rope and tags Kayden so they can hit a double team move. Bo appears on the stage and distracts Kacy and Kayden, allowing Kamea to hit Kayden and tag Aliyah for a double team neckbreaker. Kamea takes a sleeper on Kayden but gets slugged off and hit with a jawbreaker. Tags made to Kacy and Aliyah, and Catanzaro trips her to hit the buckles. Catanzaro hits a running knee in the corner, then a front flip kick to the back. I love that front flip kick. I love how I said that. Kaden lifts Aliyah, and they hit a neckbreaker crossbody for the win. That was it. Grabs her by the wrist and marks her with 2 black lines. Zoey says next week she will purge Kacy. Man, oh man. The Boa and Xia Li storyline continues to get more and more interesting. It continues to get more and more great. This is investing, man. And you know what? This Xia Li Boa storyline is probably one of the reasons why the NXT viewership has been going up as of recently. Lately. You know what? This is probably the only best thing going for NXT. I wouldn't be surprised if someone in the community says that. Wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't. I really, really wouldn't be. Now, listen, folks. Carter and Catanzaro are still green in ways that come up every now and then. Now, it was on full display, especially against the inexperienced Kamea. But this was a showcase of women that need more time before they can seriously be in the spotlight. This was just about setting up a bigger match down the line. Though it remains to be seen if Catanzaro versus Lee will be a serious match in the best women's division in wrestling. Because, you know, NXT is the number 1 best women's division in all WWE. There is no better women's division than NXT. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Seriously. While Lee's evolution has been fun to watch, she still has not had a chance to show she can compete at the highest level. Which, you know, that's really, really sad, to be honest. Oh my god. It's really sad. Imagine them being called up to the main roster and Vince and Bruce already fucking them. You know what I mean by that, right? They would be fucked on the main roster, I'm telling you. Kacy would receive the same treatment that Ricochet got on the main roster, I'm telling you now. I would not think about calling those two up to the main roster. I mean, they won't even being called up to the main roster and Vince and Bruce already fucking them. You know what I mean by that, right? They would be fucked on the main roster, I'm telling you. Kacy would receive the same treatment that Ricochet got on the main roster, I'm telling you now. I would not think about calling those two up to the main roster. I mean, they won't even do shit with those two. NXT would. Not WWE. Not the main roster. Not Raw and SmackDown. Not Vince and Bruce. But NXT. Every single person on NXT that gets called up to the main roster will be doomed for years to come. Seriously. They will be absolutely doomed. Because of Vince and Bruce. Vince gonna be looking like a fucking old man with gray hair 20 years from now, I'm sure. Huh. Really. But anyways, we got Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, Dakota Kai, and Raquel Gonzalez in the ring. But before all four of those women were in the ring, before that, Malcolm Bivens is backstage with Tyler Rust. And he says Kushida was great, but Tyler is the type of star that only comes around once a generation. He knows Kushida doesn't have the ambition or talent of Tyler. Says Malcolm Bivens anyway. I mean, wasn't he the general manager of, what's that team name? The End of Sheer? What happened to the End of Sheer? Why aren't they back on NXT? Oh, because they suck? Is that why? Because they suck? Oh, because WWE doesn't need them? Probably. Maybe because of that, I don't know. Maybe because he doesn't need them anymore. I mean, what is WWE even doing with End of Sheer? Shouldn't they be on the NXT roster in the tag team division? Where are they? Why aren't they not on NXT? I don't even care about them, to be honest. I mean, they remind us of the Viking Raiders, and they damn sure remind us of Connor and Victor, the Ascension. I'm starting to throw that one out there too. So anyways, we got a commercial break. Beth Phoenix is in the ring and she quotes Dusty Rhodes to say the Dusty Cup is a way for people to step out of the shadows and make a mark. And this year's teams did just that. We see highlights of the two competitions focusing on the two winning teams. Now MSK make their entrance and they run down to the ring full of energy. Carter and Lee hug Beth and marvel at the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic trophy in the middle of the ring. Now Lee says he's been tingling since Sunday because of how good it feels. Now Carter says he'll tingle even more when they step into the ring against Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan. Lee goes one better and imagines how it would feel when they win the tag team titles. It would feel great for them to win the tag team titles, honestly. I mean, the titles do need to be dropped. I mean, what's the use of putting the titles in Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan when they're not even doing nothing with them? What a waste, man. Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan hadn't even done nothing with the titles for about, what? For about, when? 4 weeks? They have done not a damn thing with those titles. Those titles need to be put on MSK. MSK will be fighting NXT Tag Team Champions. MSK will make those titles look like the best NXT titles in the NXT Tag Team division. They will be fighting champions, man. Put the titles on MSK. They deserve it. They ain't Burch and Oney Lorcan ain't doing shit with them, so put the titles on them. I think the best way to go about it is to have MSK pick up victory over Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch to win the titles. That's the best way, I think, to go about it. And then have Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax drop the titles to Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. I mean, Look at the Monday Night Raw Women's Division. Oh my God. Oh man. Monday Night Raw Women's Division. I can't believe I'm saying this on my NXT review. Monday Night Raw Women's Division is complete fucking garbage. Seriously. It is fucking terrible down there. Man, if Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez gets called up to the main roster early, dude, I would feel so bad for them because they will be doomed if they get called up. Every superstar in NXT roster, like I said before, I'm saying it again, they will be doomed. The Monday Night Raw SmackDown Women's Divisions, man, they are in complete shambles. Seriously. They need to work on the Raw and SmackDown Women's Divisions, man. They need to work on the Raw and SmackDown Men's Tag Team Division. They need to be calling up more tag teams to the main roster. Oh, but there's not many tag teams on the NXT Tag Team Division. Well, there's only like 5 or 6. I mean, we got MSK, Oney Lorcan, Danny Burch. And then you got Drake Maverick and Killian Dane. They're not really a team. But they're a team. They're not really a team to me. To everybody else they are, not to me. I'm sure they're not the team to any of you in the chat. And then you got Legado del Fantasma, that's number 3, team number 3. And then you got the Grizzled Young Veterans, that's team number 4. Kushida and Leon Ruff doesn't count, because they're not a team. Huh! Lucha House Party ain't counting. They don't count. You got Imperium. The guys that haven't been on TV for about maybe 2-3 months. I haven't seen Imperium on TV for like 3-4 weeks at all. I haven't seen them on TV at all, period. They've been off TV. Why aren't NXT using Imperium on TV? Why aren't they letting them appearing on shows? I don't get it. Why aren't they appearing on shows? Why aren't WWE letting Imperium appear on shows? Oh, it's because of the pandemic that's going on within the UK? Is that why? I mean, NXT UK's been coming on every week on BT Sports, right? What is going on with Imperium? Where are they? All you've been doing is giving us packages, video packages and magnets of Imperium, but not enough showing up on TV. What's going on? I don't understand. I'm telling you, the NXT Tag Team Division is soon going to slowly feel like the Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Divisions. Especially when NXT calls up tag teams to the main roster. Oh man, it's going to get a lot worse. Trust me. I hate that. I hate it for them, but it's the truth. So, Beth Phoenix congratulates them both welcoming Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. Dakota Kai shows no humility, I guess. Or humility. That's what I call it, humility. Anyway. Says they were easily the best team in the entire tournament. But before they can say much, the women's tag team champions appear in the CWC. I don't know what that fucking stands for. I'm guessing it stands for the Capital Wrestling Center. I'm guessing. I may be right. I don't know. Nia and Shayna marched down the ramp. And Baszler says, on Sunday night, Kai and Gonzalez were on the side of history. But the night they face them for the belts, they will be on the wrong side. Dakota Kai introduces Raquel to Shayna and Nia, saying Baszler ran away when Rhea Ripley beat her ass. Whoa. Holy shit. Man. Was it me? Is it me, or did I just see Dakota Kai put Shayna Baszler on blast tonight on NXT, man? Or last night. Because today's Thursday now. Raquel laughs and says she beat Rhea in a last women standing match. MSK and Beth Phoenix are literally eating popcorn in the corner and loving this. I was loving this too. Shit. I was watching this too. Shit. Let me go grab my vanilla ice cream and eat it. And enjoy while I'm enjoying this. Oh man. Baszler says it's obviously the same feeble Kai whose arm she broke. Kai says she isn't that same girl and she'll happily kick her head off. To prove it, Raquel says they're the most dominant tag team and they've gonna prove it. Jax tells them all to simmer down and says she came here to honor Dusty Rhodes. Jax recalls Dusty telling her she was a big, beautiful, badass bitch, and he was right. Raquel says Dusty Rhodes, God rest his soul, never meet her. Baszler says in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, they will come to NXT and humiliate them on their home turf. The champs leave, but Gonzalez says, be careful what you wish for, then threatens to shove the Dusty Cup up Jax's hole. That comment made Wiz Lee pass out. Why would they tell her to even say that anyway? Is this real life or is this a fucking K5? Is this a fucking K5? K5, 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 K5. No, just joking. This has got to be a K5 or something, man. This can't be real. If this is real, man, we got a problem. We certainly got a problem if this is real, man. I gotta admit, folks, man oh man, after reading this sounds like an ugly segment despite a lot of talent in the ring, honestly. No one sounded confident with the script they were given, especially Baszler. Now, the face-off of the Queen of Spades and the captain of the Team Kick should have meant more, as it was Baszler that forced Kai to evolve. While Jax versus Gonzalez is an interesting matchup, and the title match should be good, focusing on the two was a mistake. MSK was just there and probably should have been allowed their own segment instead. It was silly that MSK just challenged the tag team champions and were left to stand there. Really? What the fuck? That shit weird as fuck, ain't it? Damn. Fuck is wrong with NXT? The fuck is wrong with NXT Creative, man? What's going on? Yeah. Good job there, NXT Creative. Good going there. Nice work. Man, you failed that one. Good old NXT Creative there, man. Wow. Snag a hole. Spare me the bullshit, Creative. I don't want to hear it. We got Kushida versus Tyler Russ. Kushida versus Tyler Russ, man, this to me was basically a ground and pound old school wrestling style match, in my opinion. I mean, two of NXT's future stars, two of NXT's best. So the match gets underway, and they trade amateur wrestling holds and feel each other out. Like I said, old school wrestling style to me. Seems like old school wrestling fashion. Like the revival. Kushida forces Russ to the corner, and Tyler uses the ref to get him away. Now Russ then takes the wrist and hits an arm drag, but Kushida comes back and jumps on him to try and get the armbar, but Russ takes him down. Kushida wraps Russ's arm around the ropes and snaps it. Then starts targeting the limp. Now Kushida hits a springboard handspring elbow. Kushida uses his speed to duck and dodge Russ, but eventually gets caught with a European uppercut. Russ sends Kushida to the apron, but eats an enziguri. Then Kushida snaps his arm over the top rope. Kushida goes up top. Russ rips his foot off, and he crashes. I was thinking he was trashing. Well, that's not the case, though. Russ takes the back of Kushida and applies sleeper, but Kushida gets his feet to the ropes and rolls outside. Bivens advises him as we had a commercial break. Now, that word I was looking at, I didn't understand what it was. So, commercial break, we're back live, and Russ has Kushida in a headlock, but he gets slugged off. Kushida hits a hip toss and rolls into a drop kick. Kushida looks to kick the arm, but Russ avoids it, only to get slammed on it anyway. Kushida attempts a double arm DDT, but Russ throws him overhead. Russ then connects with a big boot and hits a snap suplex. Russ hits a jumping axe kick for a near fall. Russ hits a kick to the face and scores another near fall. Okay, Paul. Kushida tries to take the back, but Russ rolls him up for two. Kushida attempts a unique pinfall of his own, but Russ counters into a sleeper. Kushida fights it, but Russ applies a unique submission only to get rolled up again for two. Kushida breaks free, hits a kick to the arm of Russ, then gets him in a Kimura, and Russ refuses to tap, so Bivens throws in the towel. So the winner was Kushida, basically. That was it. That was the match. Russ isn't happy, but Bivens tells him he has to protect his investment. Kushida poses on the top. Wasn't too bad. But Tyler Russ does continue to stand out with strong competitions, though. This is a good showing from the NXT rookie, who has plenty of experience outside of WWE to showcase with major opponents. Now, Bivens has done well for Russ so far, though the dynamic is still a bit off. Kushida is truly finding himself in NXT, and he has always been great, but he's showing out lately. He just has found the right dynamic to work with a variety of NXT performers. He may have lost a takeover, but he has to be in line for a title soon. Now we got Zoey Stark. We got Zoey Stark versus Valentina. So we got Zoey Stark's debut on NXT. So before that, we see a video of LA Knight's debut on TakeOver Vengeance Day. Earlier today, cameras appeared at Knight's home, and he cut a promo about how he just turned NXT upside down. He says people are already saying he's the greatest NXT superstar of all time. He says every time someone debuts in NXT, they're called the hottest free agent. But unless their name is LA Knight, wasn't true. He says it's his game now and tells them if they come knocking again, he'll do some knocking of his own. So we got Zoey Stark versus Valentina Feroz. I'm sure WWE just doesn't care about going with the Rhea Rios name. I think Rhea Rios would have been going with Rhea Rios would have been a whole lot better than giving her Valentina Feroz. Why would they give her a name Valentina Feroz? I think Rhea Rios would have been a lot better than Valentina Feroz. But I guess that's a good name for her too. But why does WWE have to go in their way to change every NXT talent's name? Why? Why? Oh, it's because it's creative? Oh, because you don't like the names that they're going with? You don't like using their regular names? Is that why? Oh, because is it illegal? Really? You never changed Shayna Baszler's name. You never changed Aleister Black's name. So why are you changing every other NXT talent's name? I don't understand this. So anyways, this is the big debut for Zoey Stark. The match begun and they lock up with Stark slamming Feroz down. Stark hits a snap suplex, then lifts Valentina and runs her into the corner hard. And I have an idea who made the decision to change some of the NXT talent's names. I think this was Bruce and Vince's decision. Had to be their involvement with NXT by changing every NXT talent's name. I take it out on Bruce though. So Stark hits a snap suplex, then lifts Valentina and runs her into the corner hard. Stark pulls Feroz out for a short arm clothesline and smiles. Stark misses a kick and Feroz backs her into the corner. Feroz lands a kick and a snapmare, but Stark gets angry and forearms her. Feroz counters Stark, but gets lifted and dropped on the top turnbuckle. Stark hits a super kick and a release half Nelson suplex. Now Zoey hits a gently running knee to the jaw and smiles but shakes her finger as if she's not done yet. Stark lifts Feroz and hits something of a flip into a GTS for the win. That was it. Makes me question what move that was she was trying to hit. Anyways, the cameraman found the home of night. I'm just joking. But still. By the way, my thoughts on Zoey Stark, man. She's pretty good, man. She's not bad at all. Keep in mind, there was a video package shown for Zoey Stark ahead of her match. But for a short inhabitation match, for a short squash match like this, Stark showed out from the outset. It is a shame that WWE immediately gave her a loss in the Women's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, which is an indication that WWE is probably going to fucking waste her. And if she gets called up to the main roster early, she will be doomed as well. WWE doesn't care about... Oh, remember? Bruce doesn't like NXT talent. Remember, y'all? Yeah. So Bruce buries the NXT talent to Vince. Man, oh man, Bruce, is it me or is Bruce an even more idiot than I thought? But anyway, she comes off as a powerhouse that could dominate NXT in time. The early loss will need to be quietly written off. Now, let's talk about LA Knight. My thoughts on LA Knight. Knight is a unique addition to NXT. He is an old school mic worker with charisma to spare. Now, while in his catchphrase focus might be outdated, he has the talent to make it work. It's just a matter of just how much NXT is willing to invest in a man that has dominated outside of NXT. Like I said on Twitter, I'm going to say it again. He is a gifted wrestler. He's a gifted wrestling with good wrestling skills. His promos are good. He is a gifted athlete, man. He's one of the best in the business. NXT better do good with this guy. Because when I mean he's one of the best in the business, this guy is one of the best outside of wrestling, man. He's one of the best. He's a gifted wrestler with good wrestling skills, folks. Now, the new crop of talent will define the future of NXT. Both have pros and cons, but it is exciting to look at a brand that is consistently evolving. It is. So we got the main event. Pete Dunne, Lorcan, Danny Burch versus Finn Balor, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roger Strong. Now, before that, Cross and Scarlett cut a promo addressing Santos Escobar. I don't know why this feud is still going at this point. Scarlett says Escobar shouldn't be playing games. He doesn't have the power to play with time. And there is no pause beside it. And there is no going back. So he has two options. Show up and fight him, and he'll put him down. Or option two, don't show up and he'll find him and show him the hard way out. TikTok. That was it. I don't understand what they're going with this. I just don't. I don't get it. Why bother putting Cross in a feud with Escobar in the first place anyway? I mean, they're both heels. What's going on here? It's almost like they're seemingly turning Cross face. Man, I don't know, man. It's confusing. Shit's confusing, man. I'm lost with this shit. I really am. I am really fucking lost with this shit. I understand they're giving him something to do, but for fuck's sakes, man. What the fuck is this? I don't understand this. Where are they going? Where are they going with this Escobar and Cross feud, man? Is anybody interested in this Cross and Escobar feud? Anybody in the chat? I know I'm not. Holy shit. Shit's fucking garbage. They need to just get rid of this feud. I mean, I know they're trying to give him something to do, but come on. This feud ain't getting it. This is probably one of the reasons why the NXT ratings are dropping. Shit's boring, dude. Now I feel like they just don't have anything else for Cross to do, man. Now that Finn Balor's involved with this Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole rivalry, that's just now starting. Great. Now they're pulling Cross away from Balor to feud with Escobar. This is what it seems like. So it seems like we're not going to get that Cross versus Balor match that some of us asked for. But here's what I'm thinking we might be getting. Cross versus Dunne versus Balor is what I'm thinking we're going to get down the line. I mean, I'll be fine with that. Cross versus Balor versus Pete Dunne. I'm down with that. I don't know if you are down with it. I know I am. That would be a great matchup. A great triple threat match for the NXT Championship at WrestleMania 37. I'd say book it. Finn Balor's opponent should not be Edge. If anything, Edge's opponent should be Drew McIntyre and not Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns' opponent should be Daniel Bryan. And I think Daniel Bryan is slated to win the Elimination Chamber. And I'm actually going to talk about that on my SmackDown review this Friday night. But anyways, we got Finn Balor, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roger Strong versus the Kings of NXT. Pete Dunne, Oney Lorcan, and Danny Burch. So this was the main event of NXT. It was a good main event. We had a good ending to NXT, which I will go over with you all in the end. It was really, really good. I enjoyed it. Sort of felt like the ending to NXT TakeOver Vengeance. But so here we go with this six-man tag team match. Main event matchup. So the match gets underway with O'Reilly and Lorcan. And they have a stiff lockup and struggle for control. Lorcan forces him to the corner and swings an elbow, but Kyle ducks it and unloads with right hands. Yep, he unloads with right hands. O'Reilly sends him to the ropes, where Lorcan drops him with a shoulder. O'Reilly then catches Lorcan with a kitchen sink knife, or kitchen sink knee. Imagine it being a kitchen sink knife. That would look funny. That would look real funny and dangerous. And looks to make a tag, but choose Balor instead of Strong. Balor takes the wrist of Lorcan and immediately tags O'Reilly, who does an axe handle to the arm. O'Reilly tags Balor again, and he hits the arm as well before taking him down, and Strong is getting annoyed. Lorcan fights up and tags Burch, but Balor takes him down by the arm right away. Balor backs to the corner, and Strong tags himself in and takes Burch down with the same move. Burch forces Strong to his corner, and Dunne tags himself in. Strong drops Dunne with a drop kick for a 1 count, then attempts a half full Nelson suplex, but Dunne grabs the ropes. Dunne connects with a clothesline, but Strong fires back with chops. Now Dunne sends Strong out of the ring, then distracts the referee, so that Lorcan and Burch and Pete Dunne take the top rope, or take the top off the announce desk. This pretty much was both Lorcan and Burch taken off the announce desk. I don't think Pete Dunne was there, though. But before they can do anything, Strong attacks them both, then snaps Dunne down on the top rope and gets inside to hit a backbreaker. Tags are made to O'Reilly, and Lorcan O'Reilly lands a few big chest kicks, or Lorcan hits him back and tags Burch. O'Reilly unleashes some stiff kicks on Burch, who rolls to the corner, but O'Reilly attacks all three heels. O'Reilly knocks them all to the floor and jumps at Dunne on the floor, but gets caught with a forearm in midair. The heels take charge again as they head to the final break. So back from the final commercial break of NXT, they return to find O'Reilly being beaten down by Lorcan and held in a single leg Boston Crab. Dunne tags in but does nothing before tagging Burch. O'Reilly drops Burch with a clothesline and both men are down. Dunne tags in and knocks Roddy off the apron before taking an ankle lock on O'Reilly. Roddy runs in and beats Lorcan. He beats Lorcan down, or Burch off the apron before diving out of the ring onto them. O'Reilly fights up and makes the tag to Balor. Finn comes in hot against Pete and looks for 1916, but Dunne fights him off and attempts the bitter end. But Balor counters and hits a sling blade. Balor goes to the corner and waits for Dunne to get up, but Burch gets in the ring with one of the tag team's titles, and the referee gets distracted. Balor hits a running shotgun dropkick to Dunne and knocks him into the referee. Balor goes to the top rope anyway, but Adam Cole appears and shoves Balor off the ropes into the referee. Then Cole meets O'Reilly at ringside and hits him with a super kick. Cole then lifts O'Reilly and hits a brainbuster on the steel steps. Roderick Strong runs in and knocks Burch out the ring. Then tries to help Balor up. Finn, not knowing who is, hits a Pele kick. Dunne grabs a distracted Finn and hits the bitter end for the win. Basically, Pete Dunne pinned the NXT champion. So, after the match, Dunne and his cohorts leave up the ramp, and they're all smiles. Balor slowly gets to his feet with the NXT championship. As a referee checks on O'Reilly at ringside, Balor turns around and Adam Cole reappeared and super kicks him. Cole poses with the NXT championship to end the show. Sounds to me like this was a really, really good ending to NXT. I mean, this was always going to be a fun fight. I mean, everyone involved was too talented not to compete at their absolute best. To be honest, folks, this continuation of Balor and Dunne was as fun as Sunday, and it was interesting to watch the dynamic of Strong and O'Reilly. Chaos at the end did take away from the action a bit. Now, however, it was important that Cole ultimately make a statement. He did so with his actions again. Cole strikes again like Randy Orton. Clearly showing that he is no longer just acting with emotion. He has intentions to destroy the Undisputed Era to become champion again. It will be fantasizing to watch what comes next. It could be good. It could be bad. But what matters for NXT immediately is that it will be different from the many years that have passed before with Undisputed Era on top. So, looks like this is leading to Adam Cole versus Finn Balor for WrestleMania 37. Is anybody interested in seeing a Finn Balor versus Adam Cole for WrestleMania 37? Just asking. Let me know in the comments below if you think it's going to be Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly or Adam Cole versus Finn Balor for the NXT Championship. Folks, that's going to do it for your February the 17th, 2021 NXT review. If you enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. I am getting the heck out of here. So, got a few announcements before I get out of here. Wait for my outro music to play here. Alright, got a few announcements before I get out of here, folks. Number one, I will be dropping another NXT review. It will be the same. I'm probably going to have different opinions in my NXT review video. It's going to be my February the 7th, 2021 NXT recap and review video. It's going to be a quick one. It's not going to be long. It's not going to be long like my NXT review. But it's going to be a quick video. I'm just going to be giving you the opening segment and giving you my thoughts on the matches on the show. And that's pretty much it. Then after that, folks, my NXT UK review will be live. And then after my NXT UK review, I will probably do AEW Dynamite. Not sure. I'm thinking about it. I may do AEW Dynamite review first before I do NXT UK. Never know. But I am doing both of them. I just don't know which one of them I'm going to do. And then, also tomorrow I'll be streaming some Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. So more Call of Duty content will be coming to the channel tomorrow. And then Friday I'll be streaming Dragon Ball FighterZ. Continuing my battle tutorial training. And I'll be streaming that in the afternoon. And then my WWE Friday Night SmackDown live stream will be live. I'll be giving you all my live reaction to SmackDown, to whatever is booked for this Friday Night SmackDown, to whatever happens on the show. And this Saturday I will be streaming Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 and maybe some World of Tanks. I don't know. And then this Friday and Saturday, I will also be dropping some England Wrestling News videos. I'll probably do an England Wrestling News video Friday on what's booked for this Friday's Friday Night SmackDown, or what's expected to be on this Friday's Friday Night SmackDown. But you'll find out. Just make sure you have on those notifications so you won't miss any of that and any of my other content that will be on the channel, and all of my new content that will be coming to the channel this year. I'm getting out of here, folks. Peace. I'm out of here. Have a good day. Adios.